to God while His Word is being read. Amen. Feast your eyes on verses 1 through 4. And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, The Lord hath not appeared unto thee. And the Lord said unto him, What is that in thine hand? And he said, A rod. And he said, Cast it upon the ground. And he cast it upon the ground, and it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it. And the Lord said unto Moses, Put forth thine hand, and take it by the tail, and put forth thy hand. So he put forth his hand and caught it, and it became a rod in his hand. Amen. 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 Look at your neighbor and say, Neighbor, God, a man, and a stick. God, a man, and a stick. This little short passage is about these two men and a rod. The rod was simply a long stick. A stick, we're going to talk about the stick first of all, and let you know that this stick was appointed by God for Moses to have something to lean on when he was put out of the land of Egypt and directed towards the desert. Just him and the stick. God had already, at the conception of his birth, knew that Moses was going to need something to lean on. For the path that he was about to take, he was going to be in a desert place all by himself. People were going to turn against him. People were talking about him, cast him away, and said he was no more. Heard the king say, write his name, take his name off of the roll, and don't ever allow the name Moses to be ever mentioned in the Egyptian kingdom ever again. God already knew this. God already knew that Moses was going to be going on a path that he didn't know what he was going to do. He knew he was going to have something to lean on. So he gave Moses a stick. Had Ramses known what this stick was going to do unto the Egyptian kingdom, he would have never put that stick in Moses' hand. But Ramses took that stick and threw it to Moses. Gave him a day's ration of bread, a day's ration of water, and the rest of the Egyptian soldiers began to across that desert with just a day's ration of water and bread. Ramsey said, let his God take care of me. Put that stick into Moses' hand. I can see Moses in my mind going through his desert place. I wonder today, anybody in here ever been through a desert place? Have you ever gone through a dry spot? Have you ever gone through a time that you didn't know what to do or where to turn? It was so bad. So bad that Moses began to grow weak and began to grow weary, and sometimes he would fall, and sometimes it was hard for him to get up. Yeah. But he had that stick. He had that stick in his hand, and with a little bit of strength that he had left, he muscled himself up on that stick and crawled up onto his feet and began to move a little further. But had Ramses known what he was doing when he put that stick in Moses' hand, if he would have known that stick was going to bring some frogs, he would have kept that stick to himself. Had Ramses known that there was going to be gnats all over the land, he would have kept it. And he had known that it was going to rain down hell and brimstone. He would have kept that stick if he had known that there was going to bring locusts and devour all the field. He would have kept that stick if he had known. If I only had known that this stick was going to bring me so much trouble. What the stick was representing. He wouldn't have done what he did while he was trying to curse the land of the Egyptians, the Israelites, but God had his hand on the place the Israelites sheltered. Isn't it interesting that the whole land of Egypt, the river had turned to blood? Isn't it interesting that the whole land of Egypt had turned, the crops had destroyed by locusts? Isn't it interesting that frogs was all over the Egyptian land, but one particular place called Goshen? But the Israelites were. I wonder, do you know how important it is to be a child? All of these things that are going on in the world tonight, we don't have to talk about that. If we're not talking about these, we're all over the land, all over the world, but we don't have to worry about nothing. He promised us.
Come now, you're dwelling.
So here Moses was starting out across this desert land with this stick in his hand.
Yes, sir.
Here he was in the mountain, beneath the mountain, wondering what to do.
Yeah.
I